Welcome to Open for Business, the Gallatin Valley's only local business and consumer talk show featuring Tom Eaglehoff, the Man Entrepreneur Magazine radio called the leading authority in the United States for doing business in small town. Here he is, speaker, author, small business consultant, and Mrs. Eaglehoff's favorite son, Tom Eaglehoff.
All right, welcome everyone. Open for Business. We air every Saturday live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana. If you'd like to be a part of the big broadcast, go to kmmsam.com and click Listen Live. The call-in number during the show, 406-522-TALK, 406-522-8255. I'm here, you're here. Let's get the show on the road.
Let's get back to Open for Business on News Radio AM 1450 KMMS Bozeman. Lines are open at 522-TALK. That's 522-8255. Here he is. He's big, he's bad, and he's open for business. Tom Eaglehoff.
All right, thank you, Dan. Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, January 14th, 2017. It is 25 minutes for the top of the hour, and it's 8 below zero right now outside. I want to walk you to the podcast portion of Open for Business. This podcast was inspired by the following email that I received. Emailer writes, Hi, Tom. Just a note to tell you I finished your book and appreciate all your wisdom so much. It took me a while to get through it because I conducted internet searches as I read. You'd mentioned something like various organizations, and I have to go look. I've learned so much both from you and the sources your book points to. It's amazing how much of this data can be adapted to my mission. Thank you again so much. And since you gave me so many ideas, may I give you one? How about adapting some of your material for people such as myself who need resources on promoting and marketing the unusual? I promise you there's nothing out there, especially for the novice. Thank you again, a happy marketer from North Carolina. Well, thanks for the kind words and the great suggestion, and here's your podcast. What is unusual anyway? In the movie Smokey and the Bandit, Burt Reynolds tells Sally Field, when you tell somebody something, it depends on what part of the United States you're standing in as to how dumb you are. In other words, what may be unusual or out of place in one part of the world is perfectly normal someplace else. It isn't really the product or service that determines what is unusual, it's you and your perception of it. So once you understand this simple premise, the easier it will be to market and promote unusual products or services. Now, education is often the key. We all remember one of the greatest money makers of all time, the hula hoop. Have you ever tried it? It's not easy. It takes a small amount of coordination to master it. Now think back to a time before the hula hoop. You're the inventor. Would you try to promote or advertise this wonderful toy on the radio? Well, why not? Can you explain it's a plastic hoop that goes around your waist and you rotate your hips and it's fun and sit back and wait for the orders to roll in? No, the hula hoop needed to be explained visually. Every day on TV we see infomercials about all sorts of products. Some good and some bad, but all need to be visually demonstrated to educate the customer about how to use them. So please don't misunderstand, not all products or services require TV as your main media. You may be able to get the message across with photos or drawings or detailed instructions. Now, I've spent more than a few Christmas Eves with a page of some assembly required instructions to help me build a child's toy. There must be a school somewhere that teaches these people how to leave out that one key instruction. I either had parts left over or it looks like it's leaning one way or the other. So as human beings, it's natural for us to resist change. We must emotionally convince ourselves that the benefits of learning to use a new product or service will make our lives better than going without it. Now, this makes the marketing of the unusual more challenging. So let's explore how marketing and promotion work for the unusual. The secret of marketing is now and always will be putting the benefits of the product together with the target market that needs those benefits, usually done through some form of advertising. The two biggest mistakes in marketing, and even bigger with unusual products and services, is advertising the wrong benefits to the wrong people in the wrong place. So here's the right way. Start with the product or service. If I'm selling bread, I don't have to educate my customer about what bread is. I just have to make an argument why my bread is better or has a greater benefit than what you're buying now. Now, with the unusual product, I often have to do both. So start with the product or service. Why was it invented? Does it save time or energy? Could it become a necessity like the telephone or a luxury like an Xbox? Can it increase production? Can it reduce costs? Real demonstrated benefits must be shown to the customer. Now, if the product must be demonstrated, contact the news department, not the advertising department of your local TV station, and ask a reporter to witness the demonstration. You may just get on TV for free. If you do, make a copy of the broadcast, get a release from the TV station, and make a YouTube video and put it on your website and social media. Features are fine, but if each feature doesn't have a corresponding benefit to the customer, it's unimportant. So once these questions are answered, the next step is to match them up with the benefits of your product and the reasons people should buy your product. Remember earlier we talked about the Hula Hoop. Well, early marketing and promotion strategies for that product consisted of giving away free hula hoops. Who was the target market? Was it mom and dad? They eventually made the purchase. But in this particular case, the purchaser, the parents, actually became the secondary market. Kids were the primary market. And kids were whom they marketed to. They gave away thousands of hula hoops to make tens of millions of dollars. They held contests, demonstrations in shopping malls. Most promotion was done on the local level. And who was the target market? Every kid between the age of 5 and 12 had to have one. Soon they drew national attention, and the rest is history. So as adults, we outgrow our need for children's toys. We focus to bigger and more expensive toys, but we never quite lose that I've got to have a hula hoop mentality. Now let's talk about your three kinds of customers. There are always people who want to be on the cutting edge. They will always buy anything new. They were the first family on the block to with a smartphone, an Xbox, or to be on Facebook. There's also the opposite group who never buys anything new. They were the last family in the neighborhood to get a smartphone or a Vegematic. They'll be the very last person to get on the internet. Their argument has always been, I want to wait till I've got all the bugs worked out. I'll buy it when they perfect it. And the final group is the largest group. That's the group with the open mind. I can't guarantee I'll buy, but I'll give your message a fair hearing. So start with this group and segment out the customers most likely to want your product and direct your message to them. Even if you're reaching the right market without the right message, you're wasting time and money. So your message is twofold. One, educate about what the product or service is, and two, the benefits of the product to the end user. Notice I said end user, not the customer. With some products, the end user may not actually purchase the product. Kids are usually the end users of Kool-Aid, but seldom buy it themselves. So let's finish up with the target market. Once you've developed the education strategy and the message, the target market is next. Who are the people most likely to want this product and why? Marketing the unusual isn't really too much different from marketing mainstream products and services. The real difference is the amount of education and understanding of the benefits that may be required before the customer is confident to make a decision. If you can overcome that hurdle, then millions could be right around the corner. And that's the podcast. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel? You'll find a podcast link on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. So tune in each Saturday, and let's build successful businesses together.